Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Umi Ayumi binti Cik Gani and I would like to present of assignment communication principle. The title is AM transmitter and AM receiver. For introduction, a simple form of amplitude modulation was originally used to modulate audio voice signals onto a low voltage direct current DC carrier on a telephone circuit. A microphone in the telephone handset acts as a transducer and uses the sound wave produced by the human voice to vary the current passing through the circuit. At the other end of the telephone line, a second transducer, which is in the form of a small loudspeaker mounted in the remote handset, uses the varying voltage to produce sound waves that are close enough to the original speech patterns to be recognizable as the voice of the caller. Although the human voice is composed of frequencies ranging from 300 to approximately 2000 Hz, the public switch telephone system limits the frequency used to between 300 and 3400 Hz, giving a total bandwidth of 3100 Hz. This bandwidth is perfectly adequate for purely voice transmission since the higher of frequencies in the human voice, which is those above 3100 Hz, are not really needed for recognizable speech reproduction. The use of a limited bandwidth also makes the telephone system much simpler from an engineering perspective.
Salam Sejahtera, I'm Yong Jing Dian from 2BE Session 2/1. So I'm going to present about the literature review for this assignment too. So the first one is power supply, which provides the necessary electrical power to operate the transmitter. The second one is oscillator. It creates alternating current at the frequency on which the transmitter will transmit. The oscillator usually generates a sine wave, which is referred to as a carrier wave. So the third one is modulator. So adds useful information to the carrier wave. There are two main ways to add this information. The first, called the amplitude modulation, or AM, makes slight increase or decrease the intensity of the carrier wave. The second one, called frequency modulation, or FM, makes a slight increase or decrease the frequency of the carrier wave. So next, amplifier amplifies the modulator carrier wave to increase its power. The more powerful the amplifier, the more powerful the broadcast. The last one is the antenna, which converts the amplitude signal to a radio waves. Thank you.
Next is circuit receiver and transmitter. My name is Muhammad Nur Ichamuddin Slamat. I will explain about this board. Okay. This up above is a transmitter circuit and this is a receiver circuit for message signal or audio signal. Okay, next is a carrier frequency. This for I use a function generator to do this, and using high pass filter for to here is a modulation from here. This is the audio or message info is carrier signal. Okay, for the modulation, this what we get. Next, diode. This diode is Schottky diode. That Schottky diode active 0.2 volt. Direct detector for receiver, direct detector is very simple, low cost, but it has a problem and not sensitive. Message signal is control amplitude overall signal. This overall signal controlled by a message signal. Diode. This diode only function if mu must less than or equal 1. It not function if mu more than 1. Now we go through the result. Okay, this is message signal, carrier frequency, then modulation. Frequency modulation ni info signal will amplitude the carrier signal. So it become like this. After demodulate, this is what we get. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. For the discussion part, the circuit can be divided into a few parts, which is message signal, high pass filter, carrier frequency, and receiver. For the message signal, microphone produce a signal through a transducer through the microphone. For the high pass filter, capacitor C3 was used in circuit along with resistor R1 to act as a high pass filter. For amplifier, resistor R7 and R6 provide biasing, which amplify or small the signal. Recently, the transmitter takes the audio signal as an input and deliver amplitude modulated wave to the antenna as an output to be transmitted. The audio signal from the output of the microphone is sent to the preamplifier, which boosts the level of the modulating signal. And the RF oscillator generates the carrier signal. Both the modulating and carrier signal is sent to AM modulator. Power amplifier is used to increase the power level of AM wave. This wave is finally passed to the antenna to be transmitted. For the receiver part, the receiver will receive AM wave and demodulates it by using the envelope detector. Similarly, the frequency wave is demodulated using the frequency discrimination method. The tuner circuit and the mixer circuit should be very effective, while the receiver takes the amplitude modulated wave as an input and produce the original audio signal as an output. Selectivity is the ability of selecting a particular signal while rejecting the others. That's all. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nuratika. Today I want to explain about conclusion. Okay, as conclusion, we know that AM works by modulating varying the amplitude of the signal of carrier transmitted according to the information being sent. Amplitude modulation, or AM, as it is often called, is a form of modulation used for radio application, for radio transmission, for broadcasting, and two-way radio communication application. From this assignment, we had learned that a transceiver is a transmitter and a receiver combined in one unit. The use of amplitude modulation was easy of use. The system simply required the carrier amplitude to be modulated, but more usefully, the detector required in the receiver could be a simple diode-based circuit. This means that AM radio did not need complicated demodulator and costs were reduced. A key requirement for widespread use of radio technology, especially in the early days of radio when IC were available. That's all for me. Thank you.